All right, folks. Thanks everybody for coming this morning. It's 1 Million Cups Wednesday. We are still in the Metro Detroit chapter, working through our weeklies, moving from monthly to weekly meetings. My name is Melissa Wilson, and I am MC. That's my support as part of the volunteer committee that helps run this. This 1 Million Cups is sponsored by the Kauffman Foundation, which is a nonprofit foundation that supports early stage business owners and I guess mid and main level or high level business owners as well. But they realized that there was a gap. There's a poll up, by the way, so go ahead and throw that answer in there real quick if it's your first 1 Million Cups meeting. But what Kauffman Foundation was realizing, there was a gap between the early stage entrepreneurs and getting them to the middle stage entrepreneurs, and they started a grassroots movement called 1 Million Cups, because it takes 1 million cups of coffee to kind of make all the connections you need to make to get your business like up and functioning. And so what we do around the United States at many different chapters is allow presenters or offer presenters a platform to come in and speak for 6 minutes and then get about 20-ish, 25 minutes worth of feedback from our audience regarding your business. So one of the key components is this platform is not a pitch performance. It is not a request for funds or investors. It's literally saying who you are, what your business is, maybe why you started it, and where you are now, and what problem you're trying to resolve. And what you want to last ask is a question for the rest of us, which is the key component to the Kauffman Foundation's 1 Million Cups program, which is, what can your community do for you? What can we do to help you get through the next stages that you're in your business? So when you do a presentation with 1 Million Cups in Metro Detroit, you get access to one of 2 amazing business coaches that we happen to have on our team. Not all 1 Million Cups groups have coaches, but we do. And one of our coaches is here with us today, Jason Verbrugge. Can you give a little wave there? Jason is a serial entrepreneur, I believe is how you introduced yourself at one point when you did your cruise presentation, and is currently, like, I think, nationally promoting your new business. Makes himself available, as busy as he is, for up to an hour for free business coaching for businesses that present in our group. And then we also have another coach, Joe, who's not with us today, but yet he might pop in, and he is most often working with entrepreneurs with Tech Town in Detroit. So that's one of the huge benefits to coming to our 1 Million Cups meetings. And then for Courtney and Chelsea, you guys presenting here, we are really happy that you're presenting here. You do have the opportunity to present online with many other 1 Million Cups groups across the nation, since most of us are still doing Zoom meetings and not in person. Another thing to mention is that our group is doing hybrid events on the second Wednesday of the month, which is where we were consistently doing our once a month meetings. You can meet us at the Office Coffee Shop, who's our coffee sponsor. The Office Coffee Shop is in Royal Oak. All right, and with that, I'm going to ask one quick thing, which is we'd like to do a quick screenshot of our folks that are with us today. And so, Doug, do you want to grab the screenshot? We're going to all, if you have a cup of coffee or something you're drinking, you can hold that up and do a smile. Doug will let us know when he's taking a quick picture.
I'm going to unmute so that I can say 1, 2, 3. Ready? Hold on. Ready? 1 and a 2 and a 3. You know what to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. So you did see come up in the chat 2 polls or up on the screen. The 2 things that we have to let Kauffman Foundation know is if anyone here in our group is new, and if you are an entrepreneur. And that's just the things that they measure how our chapter is doing. There are 3 chapters in the state of Michigan, 1 out in Kalamazoo and 1 up in Copper County, and then ours here in Metro Detroit. Did I miss anything? I said our sponsor. Yeah, I think we're good to go. All right, so ladies, whenever you are ready, please introduce yourselves, and we're ready to hear your presentation.
Right. Hi, thank you for having us. We're really excited to share our business with you. I'm Chelsea Giesling, co-founder of Bundled.
Courtney Taylor, co-founder of Bundled.
And we are ready to share our story with you.
And we're going to share screen, right?
Yep.
So while you guys are popping that up, anyone in the group, you can unmute or you can put questions in the chat. We don't ask questions during the presentation. We ask them immediately following or get clarification immediately following.
Okay, so this is just a little bit about us. Courtney and I have been friends since middle school, so a very organic start to our business. But we just started our business. Actually, we had a blog, and we learned a lot about Michigan-based businesses and how amazing they are and how many great products there are. And we were just brainstorming one night over a glass of wine and thinking, hey, how can we get people to know more about Michigan-based businesses, get people to try products and shop local? And so the idea of Bundled was born, and it has gone from personal gifting, which we'll go into more, and now has really grown into corporate gifting and kitting. So our goal, we always say at the end of the day, we would be happy to just, if we could support as many small businesses as possible, employ as many individuals with disabilities as possible, and empower as many young women to work for Bundled as possible. So those are our 3 pillars of our business that we're extremely passionate about and that are growing a lot, especially in the past year. So here is just a little video that will kind of give you a snapshot into our business and our culture.
So that video kind of gives just a little bit, like Chelsea said, the pillars of our company. And now we'll just go a little bit deeper into that. As Chelsea said, we started this company, just the 2 of us, $2,000 investment. We haven't borrowed from anybody since then. We rolled everything back into the company and just made sure that it was perfect before we even were able to pay ourselves. So we started out, like we said, as personal gifting, just a website that you could go on, which we still have and we built out, that you could go on and purchase something for a new baby or an anniversary or just a hello, whatever. And then it really rolled into corporate gifting, which Chelsea can kind of elaborate on.
Yeah. So our corporate gifting and our kitting services are really our bread and butter of our company, and especially the automation side of everything. So I'll kind of explain, there's, a couple little pockets of how we do corporate gifting. So everything, we had been doing it for a year or so, I would say, and then the pandemic hit and things really ramped up because all of a sudden everybody's working from home. You're not interfacing with your clients anymore, and you're not interfacing with your team members anymore. So there was a big hole in the marketplace, and Court and I just decided to really, instead of going insane from thinking about the pandemic, we just decided to think about bundled. And we just worked around the clock from March 2020 until today. So what happened was people would just start coming to us and saying, hey, we usually do this contest where people get achievement coins and we need 500 of them sent out to the team members that are working from home. So can you do that? Absolutely. Send us the spreadsheet, send us the coins. We will package everything up. We will make you a custom card and we will get them out the door in lightning fast speed. So that's kind of the first way we corporate gift, whether it is for team members or clients. Somebody can just send us a spreadsheet and then we just populate the labels. We have one price that's out the door. It doesn't, there isn't anything else tacked on. And it's very, very simple. We pride ourselves on making an extremely complicated process extremely simple. So that's the first way. If it's not an item that people provide to us, then we can gift. So for instance, they're having a Zoom meeting that they want to have snacks for. We get all the snacks, we go to our vendors, we use our discounts, we do everything. We put them together, we make it pretty, we tie it with a ribbon and get it out the door. So again, internal gifting or external gifting can be done that way. Now, the second way is something that we're very passionate about and we use with several clients of ours that we feel, especially in sales, is a really big secret to success. So right now, a company called Rocket Pro TPO, a family of companies within Quicken Loans, uses this automation process. So if you're techie and nerdy, we get excited about it. So how it works is that we have an app, a piece of technology that can link with any CRM system. So the way I explain it is, think of any field in any database that you use to track sales or you use to track employees, and we can program a gift to be sent out upon that field. So if you want to send a gift to everybody named Tom in your company, we can program that and we automatically get orders to our system to send out the gift. So it does not take the business any time to do this. Our IT person works with their IT person to program it once. We design the gift once. And then as sales happen or as onboarding happens, the gift is automatically pinged to our gifting account and we send out the gift within 24 hours. So for instance, with Rocket Pro, they're signing on partners to utilize their mortgage servicing. So when a partner signs on and someone at Rocket Pro enters all their information, and the second they hit save, an order is automatically placed with our Shopify system. So there isn't a single person at Rocket Pro that spent 1 second to get that gift to their new partner. And the gift looks extremely customized. There's a custom card. Everything is branded Rocket Pro TPO. It looks like this company spent hours when they spent 0 seconds doing this. So that's something that we're very passionate about, that we're actively getting into other businesses as well. Because even now more than ever with the pandemic, we've learned that people really emotionally react to a physical item versus getting something emailed to them or a certificate or something like that. So it's really growing more than ever because that's how somebody bonds with a company, is having an emotional reaction and receiving something very personal and thoughtful and physical when a lot of people are spending a lot of time alone really creates that reaction. So that is sort of the two ways, either via spreadsheet or the automation, that companies can corporate gift through Bundled.
So these are just some fun stats that we pulled from some of our corporate clients that you can peek at, that just how many bundles we've shipped across the world. That's 40, and this is actually about a month old, so that's grown quite a bit. How much money we put back into the Michigan economy. That's a super important part of our business. We purchase from small businesses across the state, and we've had relationships with them that are really important to us. And just really quickly to touch on the kitting and fulfillment, I don't think we really went into that too much, but what we do with that, it is exactly what it sounds like. We basically partner up with companies, some that we already run gifting programs with. And if they need anything that they need to get into the hands of someone through mail, we can do. So we don't expect that our clients are always going to use our products. So we want to open up that opportunity to just have the option of just kitting and fulfillment. So send us your swag that's been sitting in your warehouse that you want to get to your employees or to your clients, and we will box it up, make it look really nice, and get it out the door for a really competitive price. So we've brought on quite a few clients in that industry too. This is just some words from important people that just kind of talks about what we've done for them. You can kind of peek into the bundles, shows our customization on that Power Home Solar. You know, we do a lot of custom crates and whatever anybody wants, really.
Yeah.
And then, like Chelsea said, a lot of people are looking for ways to connect with their clients. So we've done, and their employees. So we've done a lot of like Zoom meetings where they roast s'mores together, or they have a wine tasting or a cheese tasting party. So really anything that anybody needs, they just come to us and we make it happen. So our current marketing that we're doing right now is just, we have a social media manager, a lot of word of mouth and referrals. Really, that's how our company's grown, is word of mouth and referrals. We recently brought on a PR and marketing to kind of help us brand and streamline and get the word out. And then we obviously work with email campaigns.
Yeah, so that is really us in a nutshell. We could talk for hours about this, but we will not take up your entire morning talking about gifting. But really, I mean, just to be perfectly blunt, when people work with Bundled, our slogan is yes, ... what was the question? So we say yes, we're fast, and people love working with our company because we're passionate about what we do. And we really fill a void that, to be quite frank, is obnoxious and annoying for somebody else to do. If your job is HR, the last thing you want to be doing is putting crinkle paper in a box. So we're very confident in our service. It's just getting in front of more people. So when we get in front of people and have a meeting, our close rate is about 98%. And then our return rate is 100%. So people come back because we're quick, efficient, professional, and good at what we do. So our request is really simple. We would just like to get in front of more people. So a personal email introducing us to a business contact that could utilize gifting, kitting, or anything they need to get in the mail would be just so valuable to us. So if just simply copying us on an email with a sentence or two would really just allow us to expand what we do.
Excellent.
Yeah, and there's our emails.
Great. That was really great, ladies, really great. So thank you very much for presenting with us today. We do have some questions in the chat. I want to mention one thing. When you ran the video, we couldn't hear the sound. I know you probably could hear the sound on your end, but we couldn't.
Oh, no.
And okay. We're gonna resource with you guys for a little bit, and then at the end, Stephen on our team there. Stephen, hi. He's gonna show you the button to click so we can watch that again. But we did.
Oh, sorry, guys. You just saw our lips moving.
I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of talk. Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. I appreciated watching it actually kind of only with bits of sound, because your video should also be able to be interpreted, you know, by your movements.
Yeah, and actually that's interesting feedback. Yeah.
Pointed out your boxes. I mean, the bundle boxes, it was cool. All right.
So it's good.
Yeah, you got a fist bump in there.
Yeah, it was good. So I want to, before we hit up, I want to just mention that I want to thank some of the people here who are with our group. We have returning members that have presented here that are here with us today, and we have a bunch of committee members as well. And again, our coach Jason is here. So I'm just going to start with what's in the chat. So Cliff has presented with us in the past, and he right away said that he has a comment. So we're going to start with Cliff.
All right, I appreciate that. Girls, you did a great job. I actually could hear part of your video. It was just very low. So, but it's fine. My comment was this, we've already talked once before outside of this arena, but as you described your interface, your CRM interface and things of this nature, it appeared to me, and what popped into my mind was flowers by wire, but without flowers. And it's something else to do. You're basically, and that created a logistical system that you can automate to an extent to do certain things. And that brought up to my mind things like sales cycle fulfillment, as opposed to single gifting is something that works into the business process of step by step. Did I send that demo? Did I get that out? You know, your mechanics in it, it might do well to sit and talk to somebody who has a, what shall we say, like some of our partners here, consultants here that have that overall business spectrum mentality, because you may be creating something that's bigger than you think and allocate it. It's sort of like creating an Escalade to drive around with flowers and try to save on gas. You may have something that can be leveraged into a lot of different directions. The other area was fulfillment or renewals, things that could trigger renewals off your system with a gift or an upgrade or some of that type nature. And then you're providing, that's that value add on the end of your fulfillment issue. So fulfillment can be anything from high to a big box of good things. And it fulfills the need at the moment. Don't forget to call back because your contract's expiring. You're already going into a different arena there, and more of a physical arena though, not just a note-taking arena, because that would put you out into the masses. But using the exclusiveness of your gifting idea and areas where there might be, I can't think of one right off the top of my mind, but where I talked to you on Tuesday, and because I talked to you, you ended up in my CRM. And because of that, I'm going to send something next week, and then I'm going to follow up in 30 days. And that becomes automatic in a physical world now of contact, as opposed to just, hi, I'm another email. And that's what brought it to me. You might have something bigger here in scope than you believe. I didn't give it a lot of thought, but it just popped into my mind when I saw it. So you might talk to some of the advisors we have around here and get a better Joe or who else? Who's here today?
Jason.
Jason's here today. Somebody like that, and just have them, bounce that across, because there's a lot of processes that have physical attributes to the contact.
That's perfect.
As opposed to just a call.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So on that note, so Jason, do you have a follow-up to that, or do you have a question for them on their, did you guys get to talk with one of our coaches?
Yes.
Yeah,
Jason and I spoke.
Yeah, Courtney and I spoke. So good job, guys. And Stephen will show you, but on every, whether it's Zoom or Teams, there's usually a little click button that just says share volume or share audio. Yeah. So that has to be selected before you actually submit share screen. We could have mentioned that before, but obviously,
sorry guys. Yeah, long minute of silence there.
Little learning lesson for everyone there. But every platform has their little idiosyncrasy here. I thought it was really good. You guys stayed on topic for the most part for the slides. I think you've got opportunity to maybe build on your repeat orders, and I don't know how much of your business are repeat orders, but you're doing a lot with CRM, their employee database. Is there a way for you to, when you're talking to them the first time, maybe a way to actually get repeat orders for the whole rest of the year? I'm just thinking out loud for future business. There might be an opportunity, and you may be already doing this, but I don't think Courtney and I spoke of it yet, but there may be an opportunity for repeat orders throughout every quarter or every month or what have you.
Yeah, that's what the CRM structure does, is we're built in. So picture, for instance, babies. So when someone at Quicken Loans has a baby, and they add them as a dependent, it's automatically sent to us. So that happens every month, every week of the year. So yeah, once we're built in, whatever the trigger is, it never ends.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is cool. That was just what we love.
It's perfect.
We're really quiet, so they don't think about us. We just keep sending a bill every month.
That's exactly, you want that. You want to be like the insurance company, right? Where you just got repeat revenue coming in. So I think
Yes, exactly.
it's a great model.
Anything just to pop anything into your brain. If you just picture any field in any CRM system, that we can trigger a gift off of that. So a birthday or any sort of anything you can add as an insurance information, dependents, anything like that.
Sure.
Or we are able to trigger a gift. So just if you're brainstorming.
Yeah, that's good.
I see you're unmuted, Mike Bacon. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Good presentation. Can you speak more on hiring individuals with disabilities? That seemed to be a keystone of your business, but I didn't hear much about it during the presentation.
Yeah. So when Chelsea and I started this business, I was actually a special ed teacher for 14 years. And I worked as a job coach for adults 18 to 26, trying to get them into the workplace, but as a public school teacher. And then Chelsea also had a nonprofit. So when we were starting this business, we're like, okay, we definitely want to do this to make money, right? But we need to make sure that we're doing something good, because that's just genuinely who we are and what we care about. So through my experience in teaching, I worked with a nonprofit called Services to Enhance Potential to hook some of my students up with, and it came full circle. And now we work with them and we hire adults with disabilities. So we partner basically with Services to Enhance Potential, and we have a team of about 5 individuals that come out to our warehouse 3 days a week. They're paid minimum wage, actually above minimum wage, and we absolutely love our team, and they love coming here. So,
okay, good. Different question. Back to the CRM integration, you had mentioned Shopify. Does that technology back in? Do you have a special Shopify site that you use specifically for that CRM integration? Was there a connection there?
So we fulfill our gifting through Shopify. And then personally, we've put together sort of a string of apps that we're in the process of doing a patent around that connects Shopify with the CRM system. And then what else is really cool that businesses love is we provide a live document where they can pop on at any time and see where each gift is in the process. So it'll say in transit, it's delivered. And then kind of going back to what Cliff said, once the gift is delivered, it updates it in, let's use Salesforce, for instance. So if you go back into that account, you'll see, oh, they received a bundle on April 23rd. And what's really cool is it's up to the client, but what Rocket Pro TPO does, for instance, is they have a task pop up. As soon as you log in and one of your bundles are delivered, you have to call that partner to talk about the bundle as just a touch point in a relationship builder. So in order to silence that task, they have to make the call. So just a way to remember to reach out, as another opportunity to just form a relationship with that partner. They use the bundle for that. And there's even a script in there about what's in it, so they can, easily have a conversation about it.
I like.
Yeah, so it seamlessly, allows us to send the gift. Then there's a live Google document. Then it goes full circle and updates Salesforce. So everything's organized in there, and each salesperson can know what's happening with the gifts.
Your tagline, I think, is in there that you just mentioned. It's just a touch point and a relationship builder. That's good.
Thanks.
Steven?
Melissa, I have a question. So one thing, I also have a visual. I had to go dig it out of the boxes in the back because I'm moving in like 2 weeks. But so what you're talking about is very common it's like the trend in the legal industry right now. All these lawyers are sending all these gifts to. So for example, I got this from a lawyer, like they're spending money on it. Like I got this from a lawyer in California I've never met before. We're part of an online group together. He posted a question online and I answered it for him. And then a couple days later, a Tiffany box showed up.
I was gonna say, that looks like
Send
a,
them
they're
our
spending
way.
money.
Yeah, I gotta get in touch
Yeah.
with this guy.
So that
Phone
kind of leads to
disconnected.
my question of a lot of my contacts. Oh, I have one more quick anecdote. There's a lawyer in Florida who is paying someone to do what you guys do. Apparently, she completely dropped the ball. They're like 200 gifts behind. They're spending like $100 on each gift. And so my real question is, why focus on Michigan? I get that there's a lot here and you guys are tied here, but is it appropriate for me to make an introduction to someone who's outside of Michigan?
Great
Oh yeah,
question.
yeah, that is a good question because we say like 90% of our products are from Michigan, but it doesn't mean that our clients are. We're across the country because if you think about every time that we send out a Rocket Pro TPO bundle, that's not generally going to Michigan. That's going all across the United States. So we have plenty of clients that are in California that we do their gifting for. It's just nothing on there's branded Michigan. So it could be whatever they want. Even he wanted me to get a couple, like a coffee and a tea from California. So I did that. So we just haven't really moved really, really far outside with a ton of our clients, but there's definitely nothing stopping us. But that's a really good question.
Okay, I'll make some introductions then.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we're all of our products. I mean, there's just very few that scream Michigan, even if we buy them in Michigan, there's tons that just says small, made in Kalamazoo, so yeah, we can tailor a gift to look completely generic. So it doesn't even seem like it's Michigan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. We've never been 200 gifts behind, we should add.
Oh, and you wouldn't because you're not, it's all automated. The robots don't need to
Yeah.
sleep. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Although I don't know exactly what happened with this employee. I think, I think it was an issue with her, not their process.
Yeah, no, sure. I'm just joking.
So Doug, you had a question.
Yeah, I have a question in the chat, but a different question that actually made me, Stephen's question, their answer made me think of it is, well, what if I'm in California and I want it to be, so back up. The way you started the business, it was Michigan, right? And it was about employing, Michigan people, Michigan companies and supporting that. The interest in local is everywhere. So if I'm in Idaho, I'm interested in, and I have a business, I'm interested in supporting Idaho businesses and business people. So how do you do that? If, how do you take that aspect of the business and take it everywhere? Because local is its own, accelerator, for people wanting, for gifting. It's a separator.
Yeah. So for example, I had a client in Ohio and she was like, I want all Ohio products. So I just got to the research board and found some really great and found some new vendors and made some relationships and kind of introduced who we were. Same thing with California. We can really become whoever in whatever state. We can source products from wherever the client needs. We just, like you said, we were hyper focused on Michigan at the beginning, and now it's more about just local and small businesses.
And but it still needs to be assembled back here?
Yeah, everything that we do is at our warehouse. Yep, it's assembled here. And
So
we have clients that ship us stuff from, I have somebody he's a promo guy in Florida and he sends all of his stuff up here. And then we put together his swag boxes and send them out to wherever. I think his clients in DC or something. So it has nothing to do with Michigan. It's just where we're located. It just depends on the client. But then we're doing picnic baskets for a GM. They can't have their picnic, and we're putting together picnic baskets for them, and they want every single thing to have Detroit on it, and it better be made in Detroit, and it better not be made in
Michigan,
Commerce. It needs to be in Detroit.
That's what I mean is that there's a real power to the local aspect.
Yeah.
Have you considered, or maybe when you get to a point of growth about having a warehouse and assembly facility someplace else in
We've
addition?
heard
to
this
what
plenty
now?
of times.
Yeah, we've been approached about, franchising and things like that. I think it's something, and any input we would appreciate. It's something we kind of have to discern whether or not, I think it kind of goes, and correct me if I'm wrong, what the way we've been looking at it is kind of at a crossroads. Either you kind of put your pedal to the metal with the franchising route, or we put the pedal to the metal just trying to get massive automation, reoccurring orders. That's kind of the way we're looking at it.
So if I may, I don't know why what has to be one or the other. I mean, I've worked
Right.
with a lot of franchising businesses that have both corporate and franchise stores.
Yeah.
So you could have the corporate entity, which is here or wherever else you want to put it. The thing about, and I'm glad you brought up franchising, that was actually my other question. Because that way you organically take advantage of the local thing. You don't have to pay for more, warehousing and all of that. But what you're selling is the thing that you've created, which is the response mechanism, the CRM integration, the brand. That's what you're selling, and then you're paid for the idea over and over again. You talk about recurring revenue. Now you're being paid by the businesses who are implementing your brand in all these markets, and at the same time they're promoting the brand as a premier corporate gifting thing. So
That's good. That's a gem. I see you nodding
that's
your head.
accelerating growth.
I see you nodding your head, Jason. Are you agreeing that this is their key component?
Yeah, I don't think there's, like Doug said, I don't think there's a reason to say one or the other. So I think you could go both avenues. One may end up being a little heavier revenue than the other, or be a faster approach than the other, but I wouldn't say you need to pick one or the other.
So on that, I'm just going to say, ladies, I'm a female as well. Probably what they're both saying makes ton of sense, but with what your bandwidth is now and what you both are holding within your company, that it's probably like what do we do next? So to either
Sure.
you guys, Doug or Jason, to either of you guys have just a simple recommendation for what their business might look like at their next stage? Like if they are going for both those avenues, what do their roles as the lead entrepreneurs look like when you do something like that?
Well, I'll just give a brief answer. I think the avenue of getting more clients, doing automated orders on a regular basis is the easier approach than going and franchising. I think the franchise is going to take a little bit longer. Doug may have more insight on the franchising, but from everything that I've heard, that it's a longer process, right? So I think you can get a bigger ramp up quicker with the automated revenues from existing clients and new clients.
Yeah, yes, because you've got a going Jenny now. So I would not cease, feeding that enterprise. There are lots of resources out there who could help you understand what it would take to franchise a business. It's what you need. It's a franchise package. You have to, here's what we're selling. We're selling the integration. I don't know all the pieces that you have in your particular business, but it's the brand, it's the integration. You said you have a patent, or you're patenting one of your processes, but all of these things that you've created, that you've invested all of this time in since March of 2020, clearly have value. And I believe there's clearly a local thing that you could be franchising around the country. You could give people a Midwest or a West or a state by state franchise. You talk to a franchise expert about that, or a franchise advisor, and there are plenty of them to talk to. Even if you just took a meeting or two just to understand better than I can explain, certainly what that might entail. But that doesn't mean you take your foot off the pedal of the other thing. That's you continue driving revenue, and you're also making the proof for franchising, because people don't want to, buy a franchise in something that's not working. If it's working, and it's hot, that's the time to be selling the franchise. And then you've got a different stream of recurring revenue, and they're promoting your brand without you having to really make any investment. You're making money on them promoting your brand.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with them. I don't know anything about really doing something like that, but what I've heard is that franchises, when you go that route, that you are working you're working with a live system, just like your business plan is like a live, breathing, growing, changing thing. When you set up a franchise, you start to have business partners, even though you've created the model, and it might change every 6 months to a year as you improve over like the first 5 years of having a franchise model. So, and you're improving along with all of your franchisee owners. And you guys are like eventually the person that says, yes, you can operate this way or not operate this way. This is what our brand is. So, if you've heard it plenty of times, Courtney, it's probably something that is the biggest, scariest thing to take on, but taking a meeting or two, like Doug said, would probably really advance the way that you want to reach out to get new clients. Right. So,
you may, have a meeting or two and you may hear things that, that doesn't really sound like something we want to do. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. No,
But,
definitely.
it's, and Melissa's right. It's, it's scary because it's a different way of doing business, but it could really accelerate your brand's growth. I mean, even internationally, there's no reason why it couldn't go there. You've got the local, you've got I love the aspect that Mike brought up about amplified about about people with disabilities. I don't know if you know of, if you're familiar with JVS, is another organization and nonprofit that does that works with people with developmental issues and tries to get them into the workplace as well. And those organizations are all across the country, all across the world. So what a nice package it seems to me of to franchise out, to be able to do something local, supporting not just local businesses and entrepreneurs, but local people who are developmentally challenged. That's a really nice business.
It's a very unique
business concept. Really is. So
I don't know if this is real or not, but I remember listening to a podcast with the owners of Blow Bar, the women that started Blow Bar, that Blow Bar, the hair drying, it was just, right? So maybe that's like a thing. I'll see if I can find the information, but they started Blow Bar and they had it in 3 different cities. And then somebody said, you should franchise this. And they jumped on it. And all of a sudden they were all over the whole country. And who knew that you could set up a business, a franchise, just on getting your hair blown dry, in between meetings.
So call them. Call them.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that people like that will be delighted to share their experience with you. Like-minded, you're at a similar point. They'll probably tell you things to look out for and things.
Yeah, and I want to say I think they're Michigan based, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Like they are.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So far, so good.
It's nice to hear your perspective on that, because it just seems like it's
daunting.
obviously a mountain for us. And we've had such large growth over the last year that we've grown our team by 10 people. We're working nonstop, which is what we love. We're not by no means complain. That's a big, it's definitely not, it's something that's
sad to hear.
Yeah, no. And that's what we're here for,
Yeah, well, that's, you pick a day, you pick a Saturday morning, now that we have beautiful weather, you can go sit out in schedule yourselves, just the 2 of you, block everything else out for 4 hours and be like, what does this look like? What are the key components of our business? What do we love doing the most besides all the other stuff? And now we have all these employees and all the sweat, and say, what are the top 4 things that we love doing the most? And how can we expand on that piece? It sounds to me like it's utilizing the workforce that's the special needs workforce, and you, Courtney, have experience in how to teach somebody how to communicate with that type of workforce, as well as understand the baseline of building the relationship between the company that's using that workforce and why that workforce is the best component of the capability of marketing your business. Right. You also have the design capacity of making really beautiful boxes and using the right materials to make beautiful boxes. You now are working with I'm assuming Stephen, to do a patent on your bundled application that you can use with CRMs. And then you're using the localized, like Michigan-based products, but again, like Doug was saying, you're just going to call it localized products, and it can be in Amsterdam, and it can be in South America, and it can be wherever, because you've already taught yourselves how to resource those tools in other communities. It's the same language and anywhere that you are. So you have like these key components, and then what does that look like? Like if you were going to be so this is the best way to do it. A year from now, if you were going to buy a franchise because you could afford it, what does it look like to buy your franchise? And just block out everybody else and talk it through and write it down and keep that alive in your head, and then meet with your franchise person. Like Doug said, maybe he knows somebody that he could put you in touch with, just to say initial meeting. They have questions. They don't know what to do with this. And you guys have that, like that little package to say, I'm just making that up based on your presentation. You might have 6 other things you love about it. So that's what I heard
great.
today.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so does anyone else have stuff to say? Justin, you usually have some pretty good thoughts when it comes to new entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah, so I didn't really have a question, just a couple quick comments. First of all, great job on the presentation. And
Thank you.
the second comment would be, I'd love to talk to you more offline. I've been wanting to put together a child sports safety bundle for a long time.
Ooh.
I'd love to talk to you about doing that. So I'm going to send you an email.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks.
And then we have a new person, I think, Doran York from City Side Ventures. I see you've been hanging out with us. What do you think about the presentation today so far?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I joined today because I don't know if you know the history, but I was with Jay at the beginning, starting Million Cups in Michigan. The reason I logged in is to hear bundles. 2 people mentioned the company, and we have powerful investments in the space called intelligent commerce. And I think I like what those women doing. I think the business have huge potential. I'll say one thing without getting into too much detail on it. I think you should drop the franchise conversation right now. You're probably about 2, maybe even 3 years away from thinking about it. Franchise require a well-designed turnkey system, and you're not there yet. If you franchise too early, can cause a buttload of trouble. It may be something in the horizon in the future that you get some traction and brand recognition, then you can think about it. If you want to reach out to me, we work with one of the more respectable franchise consulting firm in Chicago, good friend of mine. I can connect you guys. You can talk if you want to, but what you're doing is great. I think you should keep going in the same direction. And I don't know if you are or you're not. I'm going to ask the question anyhow, because that's our interest. We're investors. If you are raising money to scale the business, I think if you do raise money, you can be able to scale faster and get your exposure out there. But in today's intelligent commerce space, I would not go to any direction that it's not digital commerce at this point.
Yeah, right now, we are running very lean and very well, financially speaking, but that doesn't mean to say that the conversation is off the table about investors. Courtney and
All right, I'll reach out to you. I'll send you an email. We locate in Birmingham. If you lady wants to come for a cup of coffee, we can talk about it.
Definitely, absolutely.
Sure.
The only thing we have to be careful of is we're almost certified women-owned and operated, so that percentage just has to stay. Right now, Courtney and I are the only investors in the company, so we got to the final approval process really quickly. But
yeah, I mean, as long as you maintain majority, you're fine.
What was that?
As long as you maintain majority owning
yeah, 51%. Yeah. Right. Okay, great. Yeah, we would love to talk.
Sure.
Okay. I have a quick question for you, Doran. You just mentioned that the only place that you feel people should be involved in is the intelligent commerce space. Is that what you said?
No, I said that there's a new, I don't know, call it a category, if you will, starting in Silicon Valley in Tel Aviv, a few years back. It's called intelligent commerce space, which basically integrating technology to make e-commerce seamless. And it seems like that those ladies developed something that it's a pain point for a lot of companies, automating the process, focusing on the technology. I think being a tech company have much higher value than a service company. So the tech is important. But every company in the world looking to improve the interaction of the user in e-commerce and make it as seamless as possible. And, it seems like the ladies are touching that space. And I think there's a tremendous amount of money invested in this space right now. We invested in 3 intelligent commerce companies, one about to be purchased by Amazon, which I think you also need to think, besides the impact and the good things you're doing for the local economy, about what is the end game here. End game here to build a big company and make money, and at some point being attractive enough for some of the giant e-commerce companies to say, hey, we're missing that piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So I'll send you an email. You reach out to me, and we'll schedule a time.
That would be great. Thank
Sounds
you.
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
you know how fun it is to present with 1 million cups? Because who knew? You just wanted to have a connection, and we have all these things to help you.
Absolutely.
No,
Well,
this
we
is great.
appreciate
Yeah,
it
this
so
has been
much.
so great. Yeah.
That's our biggest thing that we do. Who do we know that we could ask? Because hey, we know we stay in our lane. We know what we know, and we know what we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Doran's good. Doran's been to some of our initial 1 million cups meetings back when we were live in Oakland County. I've known Doran for a while, so he's got some good insight on launching businesses.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Doran. Thank you for rejoining us as Metro Detroit. We're glad you popped in here because we could always use somebody that understands what's happening in the investment world. So thank you for that.
Good.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? I had a bunch of questions. So I'm just going to go back. That was super complex and amazing and great information for you guys, but going back to your slide presentation, I would say that your testimonial slide was too busy. You had too much going on. You should just take 4 words out of all 4 of those testimonials and just put those 4 words and a picture of the bundled box that person got and just say those 4 words.
Okay.
The slide, I would love to have seen a slide of just the logos, one whole slide of just the logos of the Michigan businesses that you partner with. I bet there's a dozen. You can say that here's our key businesses that we always buy from. And then the next slide can say, go to our website to this. And that's who our products come from. I would make that a simplified slide, especially when you're talking to investors or something.
You mean the clients we have or the products we buy?
The products. So when a piece of what your presentation is going to be for anywhere you would go, I have a kind of a marketing background and stuff, but the piece would be, you're pitching to a larger company in Ohio and you have partnerships with Ohio local companies, and you can say, here's the companies and you'll see those brands, those red logos. Right now, you can do that in Michigan. So one of your slides today could have been, I don't know how many you have, Courtney, 15 or 50. You have
50,
a lot.
probably 50 plus.
Pick the top 10 that you consistently put in all of your bundles that so that's a give back to the companies that you buy from. You can say, hey, every time we promote our business, you guys are consistently the ones that showed up with us first. We always bank, whatever. And so they have these bigger logos, and you say, and then you can go back to your current customers and say, we consistently push your brand. And that's one of the ways to do it, is just having a slide that says that, and make sure that shows up on your website as well. Who do we partner with? And the biggest logos are those companies. And so, that was something that I would have loved to have seen, just because I work in that kind of world. And then I would like to know if we can play your video again, because it seemed really good. If you guys don't mind, I would love to hear it with real sound. So Stephen, are you able to walk them through how to click that button as they share screen?
Yeah, if you click so you have to stop the screen share. And then when you click share screen, there'll be, as Jason said earlier, there's a little button, a little checkbox that says share audio or something. And so that way, hang on, let me look. Oh, optimized for video clip is what it says. So just make sure to, or hold on, share sound. That's what you want, share sound.
And I do the optimized for video as well, because Zoom will.
Oh, there we
optimize
go.
that video.
It's right there in front of us.
Couldn't have been more clear. Okay.
Yeah, your coach should have helped you with that, like when he knew you're. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Jason.
We should know that. I feel like we've done it, you know.
Oh,
when
we've
you're
been
on
on
the spot.
Zoom enough.
I know.
Jeez. Okay, you guys ready? Shout if it's
Yeah,
just our lips moving in. We won't put you through that.
All right. Can hear it. Can hear it.
Welcome to Bundled. We're a corporate gifting service that picks up where your good intentions left off.
Happen to have a baby?
Covered.
Stephen Accounting's birthday?
All you have to do is wait for that thank you email.
Need 4,000 swag boxes built and shipped in 4 days?
We need to talk.
We're women owned and operated. We employ adults with disabilities, and our support for other small businesses is relentless.
And we're what we like to call hyper local. We seek out each and every small business out there, and if you're making quality goods that fit our criteria, we want you on our team.
Your passion mixed with our passion is what makes our service really sing.
Let's get a little nerdy with some stats.
Only 12.4% of employees feel recognized and appreciated in the workplace.
Sad, right?
Employees who don't feel recognized are also more than twice as likely to be job hunting.
So, if you care about retention,
then you need to care about these. Stylishly designed and rapidly shipped gift boxes with your custom logo on it.
We know what you're thinking. It probably costs a lot.
Far from it. We have programs to fit any budget for any size company. And with an employee's exit costs coming in at over 33% of their salary, you really can't afford to not use us.
Total integration, yoga instructor level flexibility, instant ROI.
Not to mention our deep understanding of our customers' culture and fulfillment speed that borderlines on illegal.
Any questions?
That's what we thought. Automate, integrate, gift, ship, generate. Bundled.
Corporate gifting reimagined.
Yay.
I like the yoga instructor flexibility.
Yeah, that was a tongue twister getting that one out. A full day of filming. We have like bits of, we did 4 different videos to reach out to, we worked with a marketing company. We're doing a pretty big pitch in a couple of weeks to Quicken Loans. And we did a bunch of different videos that just pinpoint all different types of our business. And then we have a bunch of cut downs too for social and stuff. So it was fun, but a lot of work, a lot of talking. A lot of ourselves, too much of ourselves in one day for our liking.
Like, can we get back in our sweatpants and go back in the warehouse and put gifts together?
Yeah.
One of my companies, we do healthcare videos. It's all very boring, but it's, HIPAA and fraud and abuse training. But when we have doctors that have to come in and do shoots, literally we have to get them to do 10, 20 takes because they're used to talking and speaking the way they want to. And we're like, no, that's not how it has to show up on video. So it's very challenging.
Oh yeah. Took a lot of coaching. Talk about coaching.
A lot of coaching.
Yeah, Mike, I know Mike's a filmmaker. One of the things he does is do that. Do you have any comments on how that marketing video comes across? Mike Bacon?
Comes across very genuine and fun. It has a good message to it. It's very lighthearted, and not tongue in cheek, but nice little quips there on the wordplay, and it comes across very nice.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we wanted to be ourselves. Like, we're not going to come there and be like, hello.
Yeah. Well, they're like, we're going to hire some talent. And they're like, well, no, we're not. You're the talent. We're like, okay, don't use that word. Talent is not what we are, the face of the company, but talent is not.
It came across fun, and it definitely, you guys come across as owning it.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks.
It was our first try.
Good. Keep going. It's good.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so did the marketing company film that for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Just kind of build out our whole pitch for.
And where was it? Where was that filmed?
It was filmed at our PR company near Perfect Media in Bloomfield.
In Bloomfield.
Might sound familiar to some of you. He's a good guy. But yeah, so he's a friend of ours from back in our blogging days, and he's recently started kind of helping us get our name out there in some PR. So we filmed it. It's because we just moved into our new warehouse. That's actually nice. Everything, the place that we were in before was not filmable. So now we can film here.
Yeah, you should film in the warehouse, I would say, because you guys come across you actually come across really natural. I'm really glad you memorized your scripts. Even though I can talk here on a Zoom, I freeze up when it comes to making a video of any kind. I can't remember anything I want to say.
They had a teleprompter iPad.
We did not memorize.
Oh yeah, you come across really natural.
Yes,
good. They were trying to trick people.
Yeah, and I really like the smooth movement. I really liked how the stats like popped in and like froze. I thought that was a really good quality that the marketing company helped you with. And I like that you point out the bundle boxes and your little quippy comments like done, whatever, got that. I would definitely say you film it in the warehouse and somehow snip in.
They wanted to, but the place that we were in, we literally just moved in last Monday to our new space, and the place we were in was just, I mean,
you might have been overthinking that. No offense, because
oh no, they agreed. They came. There was
you couldn't have lit it. Like, made it look amazing. No, it's okay. I think
next time
for sure. This place is
fabulous.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that my only critique is like there was an exit sign over your guys' head. So everywhere you came out, like I could see you two talking, and then I would see the exit sign. And I was like, oh, that's so like a subliminal message of, exit. So everything else looked really great though. So thank you for resharing that with our group here today.
Thanks.
Dude, it's 10 o'clock. What a fun conversation we've had. We don't usually go all the way to the end, I don't think, when we have one presenter. So
we appreciate all of your feedback and your questions. And, we're definitely, like you said, Melissa, Chelsea and I love to block out time. That's how this company started. And just the two of us sit down and say, hey, what do we love? What do we want to, that's how it's evolved. So I think that's probably our next step.
Good. That's great. One thing, just to remind you guys, like I brought up earlier, you can present. Again, it might not be the whole hour like it is with us, but you can use your same presentation with maybe some of the tweaks. You don't have to, they're just suggestions. And now that you've applied to 1 Million Cups, you're already in the system. So you can just go back to 1 Million Cups and log in, and then you'll see all your same information you put in, and you can look to the right, and there's a whole list of other 1 Million Cups. You can do it in different time zones. You can do a presentation at our time, 7 a.m. and just start your day off with that and move on and get a variety of different kinds of resources and comments, because most often it's a B2B audience. And so we're finding that repeat presentations in 1 Million Cups as a business or as a base is really beneficial for people. And then we might, bring you guys back in 6 months and say, what have you learned? How have you changed? And what do you need next?
Please. Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Good to know.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks everybody. We do try to keep it in an hour. I was pretty chatty, I think, this time. And thanks, Dorian, again. Doran for joining us, and Jason, our coach, for joining us, and Stephen for connecting the girls to be here. I'm sorry I use that female language, but whatever, it's fine.
We're girls.
Yep.
And then our committee members, that are here with us today too. And Kristen, I know you're having some struggles there, but I'm glad you got to listen and hang with us. I think she's still there. She's the iPhone Black.
It was great. I actually really enjoyed it. I'll be back again. Thank you.
Terrific.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good one.
True.